Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally. My daughter loves this table or desk at Wayfair, starting at $869, I think, on sale for $739. Beautiful hairpin legs, lovely slab of wood, but outrageous in my opinion. And so my husband and I looked to see what we could do to get her something similar. So we went through the wood that we had on hand because the price of lumber right now is quite outrageous. And we had a couple of boards in our shed that were very rough cut. This one has some wormwood. They had a couple of knots in them, and they were pretty rough cut. So we needed to use a grinding tool to take down the splinters and the really rough part of the wood. The dimensions of ours ended up being about 18 by 45. Now he started with a large 60 or 80 grit on the grinder, and he went down to a 120 until it was at least, somewhat smooth for me so that I, would be able to take it from there. He rounded over just a little bit on the edges and, left a little bit of the rough bark looking edge on the front. Then I took the orbital sander by DeWalt and I did a 220 finer grit, and I went over the whole thing a few times until I felt like it was very smooth to the touch. I love the way the grain was popping through, but when I wet it all to wash it just to get it clean, it was quite orange. So I knew I didn't just want to polyurethane it. So I did make my own stain. I've seen this done many times with a Waverly antique wax paint, chalk paint, and warm water, and you mix it to the consistency that you want, the color that you want, and you go ahead and paint or stain over the board. Now it is rather dark, so you do want to take a rag and wipe that off to get the color that you like, and I loved the way that it popped the grain. I toyed with just doing some kind of a wax finish, but decided that wouldn't make as much sense on a desk as we might like in order for like a writing surface. So here that is, just sitting on top of our wheelbarrow, waiting to dry. And while we were waiting for that to completely dry, we went ahead and got a measuring tape, and I had purchased 4 hairpin legs for this project online for under $50, somewhere like 45 or 46 if I remember correctly, and we just needed to use the drill and the hardware that came with. So we went ahead and marked those corners, little V, so that we knew exactly 1.5 inches in on both sides, so everything would be completely even. So once we had all 4 of the legs on, we did put the little rubber pieces that came with them on the very bottom, not so that it wouldn't scratch the floor. And then we put it out in the grass with just the stain, no poly at this point, and this is what it looks like so far. Then once that was completely dry, brought it in the house and had the Varathane put on in a matte finish. Now when you put this on, you do need to go slowly so there's no bubbles. It does go on white when you first put it on, and then when it's fully dry after 2 hours, you take a real fine grit sandpaper. This one's 400, and then you just lightly sand over the whole thing and repeat the process with a second coat, and then sand that fully smooth. And then once that was completely dry, we brought it up into our living room. This is just a chair I would use. She is much more modern farmhouse, so she'll come up with a different idea, but I wanted to stage it with a few things for you so you could get the feel for the size and it should be just perfect for what she needs. And I absolutely love it. It feels so smooth to the touch, and it is absolutely beautiful. And I honestly cannot believe we did it for under 50 bucks when it was $740 on Wayfair. I honest to God can't believe anybody would pay that, but hey, who knows? So hopefully you like this. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and share it with a friend. I'll see you soon. Take care.